guys, hello and welcome. Are back this weekend. I don't have any major activities going on. So with that, let's take a look at the players. So first set is going to be Guros, Toby, Buffus, and Sabeliro. Sabeliro is right here. Highlight him. And Guros, Toby, Buffus is here. So we're looking at 1756 versus 1692. Slight advantage to Sabeliro, but I still think that these games will be competitive. We have Capture Age up, so let's go and check that out. We are on round 5, so now let us go over. All right, here we are. So, the map of the week for round 5 was Seikilos. It is Greek hideout. It's basically hideout, but better. It's hideout with a perfectly circular forest in the center, except for the scallops that are cut out of it for player bases. And it's got this pretty little ring outside of which the relics are spaced, and I think the relics are a little bit more fair in this case. So, in the blue, we have Guros, Toby, Buffus. He is playing at approximately 3 o'clock, and at approximately 5:30 o'clock, we've got Sabeliro playing as the Spanish. So, we've kind of got a competition here to see who has the better fast castle into unique unit. And they really did pick some good civilizations for this. Because this particular generation of Seikilos, the players start pretty far apart. As you can see, well, this is pretty thick here, and they're pretty much on opposite sides of the wall. Let's take a look and see if Sabeliro has deleted a section of his wall. He has not. He is not pushing deer in apparently right now. I guess he's still out exploring. He might delete one later. So I think this is Guros, Toby. No, this is Sabeliro's scout. Alright, so he's going out trying to find his deer. And it doesn't look like he's found him yet. Wait. Okay, there they are. So I gotta hold on one sec, guys. I gotta change over the encoding. So we're gonna do that real quick here. It actually doesn't really require me to go anywhere. It's just one of those weird settings that I don't really understand. We can see that Guros, Toby, Buffus is... So I might as well just keep talking while I do it. In fact, I don't even have to tell you about it. Guros, Toby, Buffus is doing the whole sheep trick. And that works out pretty well. I think his deer are in a little bit better position than Sabeliro's, but we'll have to pay attention to see if Sabeliro still pushes his deer in. He may not even push them in. I'm not sure. I think he should, though. We did get, to be fair, we did get a little bit of warning from the otter one about the potentially unfair deer, and I was like, well, I don't know how big of a deal it is. We're gonna go in and chase that one thing down when I've already done the map pack. So we'll have to pay attention here to see how Sabeliro handles the deer. It looks like he did delete a section of his wall, and he is pushing them in. So that's some good news. I think hopefully he'll be able to get those in. Be able to extra enough food under his town center. He's a good player, you know, mid-1700s. So they're generally okay with that kind of stuff. So as you guys can see, Guros, Toby, Buffus, Portuguese, he's getting a very slow trickle of wood here. That is coming from his villagers on berries. Portuguese villagers, when they pick berries, they also break the branches of the berry bushes off for wood. So it's kind of a weird eco bonus that the Portuguese have access to. Well, it is their bonus, actually. So only they have access to it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Saballero, no. He's got that other deer running back. Did he not shoot it? I don't know. I think he shot it. So probably won't be anything too crazy, guys. Just 2 players doing a fast castle build. Close Discord too for some more resources. Seems with every update, capture age just gets slower and slower. My old computer is just so tired. All right, Gurus Toby Buffus going up to the feudal age. He's on 24 pop, and Saballero is going up as well on 24 pop. Saballero with some more idle town center time, which explains why he's a little bit further behind. I'm not sure what the reason for that is. I don't think it has anything to do with the deer, though. I think he's always had food under his town center. Although maybe that deer ran back and that cost him some time. I'm not really sure. Yeah, that deer running back did hurt him. He is behind with the deer harvesting. Gross Toby Buffus got everything. He's in feudal age. He's going to throw down a market, and he's going to throw down... Well, he should be throwing down a blacksmith. Yeah, there it is. So market blacksmith for Gurus Toby Buffus. Saballero still working on feudal age. But he will have the wood to throw down a market and blacksmith of his own. His gold is back, which is helpful, but his stone is forward. And meanwhile, Gurus Toby Buffus' gold is actually forward, but his stone is backward. So they kind of have the reverse here. I think I would rather have Saballero's map, because I think that you can take the stone and then build the castle, and you're pretty much done with it. And it's more helpful to have the gold in the back of your base, since it's easier to protect. The stone you just need to get that initial castle going. And neither player is planning on threatening the other before both are castle age, essentially. Let's see if the players have found each other. So Gurus Toby Buffus is over here, and he is hacking away at this wall. The scout is pretty weak, so he's not going to be destroying that wall anytime soon, but he's still trying. And I believe that Saballero has just found Gurus Toby Buffus. I should just call him Gurus. It's a lot faster. There we go. So he found him, and he's identified that there's a forward gold here. Whereas Gurus Toby Buffus, I don't think he has found Saballero's forward gold. Saballero coming out to repair the wall to prevent Gurus Toby Buffus from doing too much more damage to it, or at least to prevent it from getting in. Yeah, and Gurus Toby Buffus deciding to... He's not getting in, he might as well try to get as much information as he can by looping around. He's clicked up to the castle age, but actually Saballero clicked up first. So I'm not really sure what happened there with Gurus Toby Buffus. If he clicked up too soon and he had to spend more time in the feudal age to take resources, I don't really know. But Saballero is going to be up first, and he's going to be able to build a castle pretty much immediately upon clicking up, and he will be making conquistadors for sure. My opinion is that conquistadors are harder to mass than organ guns because they take food and gold instead of wood and gold. So Saballero will first have to take wood, use it to make farms, and then harvest food from the farms in addition to harvesting gold. Whereas Guras Toby Buffus can just harvest the wood and the gold. So castle being built by Saballero, and this looks like a monastery. So it could be like a monk and conquistador play. Be really fun if Saballero went fast imp monk treb, but I think he's too far away for it to be a favored strategy. So now that this castle is up, he decides, alright, he's going to chop the stragglers for now. But maybe he instead will go over to the gold. Yeah, it looks like he is kind of prioritizing this gold here. And he has already started making conquistadors. And he'll probably make monks, a few monks to collect relics as well. But Spanish have excellent monks, so that's why Fast Imp Monk Treb could be interesting with them. Which way is he going? I don't think he's decided. Alright, he is going to come down this way. Meanwhile, Guras Toby Buffus has built his castle right here. He pretty much deleted his gate to make it happen. Which is sort of interesting, actually, because I don't think organ guns can garrison inside of castles once they're ejected because they're considered siege weapons. He's also afraid of Saballero. He's stonewalling off that corner there. And then he's otherwise pretty much well covered. He's got some houses here, and he's adding a second town center. Whereas Saballero is not adding another town center, at least not yet. He's going more heavily into the conquistadors. So bigger investment, so that means that these conquistadors that are coming out across the map, well, they have to do something. They have to do the damage, otherwise it's not worth it. Because, you know, for now, Guras Toby Buffus has all of the resources that he wants. He has gold, he has stone, he has wood, and he has space for farms. He's got a stone wall there to keep the conquistadors out, so he's content. The time will come when Guras Toby Buffus has to push out of his base, but that time is not yet now. So the organ guns get a good shot against that gunman on horseback and kill him. Saballero is going to need redemption monks, I think. He could go mangonels, but people like to micro and dodge mangonel shots. But you can't dodge God. He's made a monk. The monk is going to go for relics first, though. He doesn't have the gold for redemption. So the conquistadors are much more mobile. And I think that could help Saballero if he could use the mobility. But he can't really use the mobility because he just can't get in here. And, oh my goodness. Guras Toby Buff is going for a greedy 4-town center boom. Meanwhile, Saballero is still only on one. Oh no. Oh, this is a good find from Guras Toby Buffus. Saballero is still only on one town center. So I don't really know what's going on. I think he stopped making conquistadors. Yeah, his conquistadors got wiped out. Apparently they had a big fight here. Saballero is upset that these organ guns had very, very good accuracy. Which is a little bit ridiculous. But he tried to take the fight. But it would make sense that for equal resource investment, organ guns would wreck conquistadors. I mean, conquistadors are the faster unit. So if conquistadors won for equal resources in a fight like that, then why would anybody ever make conquistadors, you know? Why would anybody play Spanish when you could just have access to organ guns instead? So, Saballero thinking about countering these organ guns with monks. I like this monastery, although I think it should be right here to prevent the organ guns from coming around once they get in here. Looks like he is starting to think about walling this off, but I do think this is a little bit too late. I don't think these are going to go up in time. Not without a villager going down, surely. Yeah, he has to abandon it. So now he's going to work on this. But Saballero with a big resource imbalance here. He's got Almost 1,000. He's got almost 1,000 food. He made a few conquistadors. They didn't get much damage in. There are enemy monks coming around as opponents getting town. That doesn't really help with much. His opponent is checking this area out here. So the villagers come and they're going to shank away at these organ guns. 2 villagers down. Saballero cannot afford this. He's outnumbered 2 to 1 in villagers and calls the GG. Gyros Toby Buffus is victorious here. Saballero did not invest in the boom. He needed to make things happen. Conquistadors were not really the play against these organ guns. But even without the boom, I'm not really sure that he would have been able to do much against these organ guns. He needed a plan for the organ guns, and he never had one. He only ever reacted building a second town center, and by that, or sorry, a second monastery, and by that point, so the first win goes to Gyros Toby Buffus. So the second map that they play on is Nicaea. Nicaea is my version of Northern Isles that I made for... Well, I made all of these maps, but I made this because I wanted to improve... I wanted to make a map that felt like it was taking place on a true island chain, where you could have a mixture of land and water combat, but still have the players be isolated by their own islands. So here we go. On this map, you start with a transport ship and 3 villagers and a scout, which means everybody has to get loom immediately. And that is indeed what both of the players are doing. You'll have a symmetric distribution of neutral islands coming off of your main island here. And unlike Northern Isles, where the neutral island is in the middle and the players fight over it, these islands are in the back. So they are a resource for players. Something for players to expand to if they are under pressure. So far, we actually have not seen players use these neutral islands very much. They only use them a small amount. But I think, actually, you could almost dock wall this. Dock block, we call it. You could build a dock here, and block that off. You could build a dock here and block that off, and you could build a dock here and block that off. So that's what I love about the map, is it's kind of got a closed, watery channel sort of feel, but it's still a proper islands map, with the islands being isolated from each other. So let's take a look at the civilizations. Saballero is playing as the Dravidians, and he is around 11 o'clock, and Gyros Toby Buffus is around 5:30 o'clock, and he is playing as the Blue Lithuanians. So Lithuanians, I understand. Lithuanians are a good hybrid civilization map. Sorry, a good civilization for hybrid maps. They start with the extra food, which could allow them to do the Lithuanian Instadock, although that has not been done here. Although, it does seem that Gyros Toby Buffus is fewer on food than Saballero, and he's already got 4 on wood. So it looks like he is doing that, and he just has not built his Instadock yet. Maybe it takes a little bit longer than I thought. He's taking the boar very, very early. I mean, look at this. This is so weird looking. Somebody taking a boar with only 4 villagers? What the heck? It's unheard of. It's just unnatural. There's also a point on this map where we see the players load onto the transport and go over and explore their opponent's island. That's always fun. Landings are pretty effective, so it looks like Gyros Toby Buffus has explored the perimeter of his opponent's island. Saballero has not explored the perimeter of Gyros Toby Buffus's island yet. He probably forgot about it. He's got his transport here waiting for that. So we see that the Lithuanian Instadock is back here. It shows there's 2 fishing ships out for Gyros Toby Buffus. Meanwhile, Sabellero has not yet built his dock. Actually, I don't know if he's going to. He's only got 3 on wood, and he's putting everything else on food. Wait a second. Here's a villager now coming out to fish. Okay, so Sabellero is planning on docking, but Gyros Toby Buffus is Lithuanian Instadock ahead. So Gyros Toby Buffus with a little bit of a villager advantage at this point, but remember that Dravidians have, I think, more economic bonuses later on, or perhaps better naval options. So as the game progresses, Sabellero's position will become stronger, and it's incumbent upon Gyros Toby Buffus to hurt Sabellero before Sabellero, or put Sabellero in a losing position so that Sabellero cannot crush him with his superior naval options. So that's really what we're looking for. 3 fishing ships already. This is a back dock from Gyros Toby Buffus, so this is a pure eco dock right here. He does not really want to fight with this so far. He wants to rake in the cash, and by cash I mean food. So fishing ship has been created for Sabellero. I'm wondering if he's going to do the forced drop off and then click up. It looks like Sabellero has, okay, he's going to click up. He's going to make his last villager. He's clicking up. Sabellero going up on 22 pop, which is really quite respectable for this map. He's also pushing this very slow goose underneath his town center. That's something that we could potentially address for Nacia, is the geese are herdable. You know, they're wild geese. They're not tame geese. They're just wild geese that don't fly. So maybe we can speed them up a little bit, because when you're pushing deer in, the deer run away faster, and you can push your critters in faster. So then you can go and do something else. Gyros Toby Buffus is standing by. He's getting ready to load onto his transport ship. Looks like he is planning on coming over and exploring. Yep, there it is. So he's all loaded up, and is he planning on building... Is he planning on bringing... Oh, okay, he's got some villagers in there. So he's going to bring some villagers with him. Okay. And maybe this will be some kind of crazy Lithuanian tower rush. I'm not really sure. But there's 2 villagers and a scout here, and he is taking the initiative. He's heeding the advice, the ancient Roman adage, which says that fortune favors the bold. So here he goes. He's going to build an archery range. So he built a barracks at home, and we just didn't see it. Yeah, there's the barracks. And now he's building an archery range on his opponent's island, which seems very, very risky. But Lithuanians, not a lot of great naval options, and Sabellero has no clue that this is happening. Uh-oh. Well, Sabellero could be in for a shock then. Although Sabellero is actually doing a landing of his own, so they're both landing each other, which is funny. Sabellero built his barracks, though, on Gyros Toby Buffus's island. So, this is going to be pretty hectic. Pretty chaotic, I should say, to see what the players do. Another spearman has been created. He seems to think that Gyros Toby Buffus is going to make lots of scouts. Now, Gyros Toby Buffus is building a defensive tower on his gold. I'm wondering... Yeah, he sees it. He sees these military units, and he's like, where did that come from? And so he decides to build a tower on his gold. Are the Dravidians doing some kind of trash rush? What is this? Skirmishers and spearmen. And Gyros Toby Buffus is going to get this tower up, and he's going to small wall sort of in here. So Sabellero will have to go somewhere else for damage. Unfortunately, though, for Gyros Toby Buffus, he cannot wall to the edge of the island, because that is how the map is designed. Also, Gyros Toby Buffus trying to sink this transport ship. He will probably succeed. Sabellero has made a fire ship, but I think it's stuck in the rocks. The coastline is pretty rocky. Oh no, this transport ship got away. Alright. Yeah, so this is going to come all around, and Gyros Toby Buffus is having a hard time here. trash units are trying to get in. Garrus Toby Buffus will have to take some stone if he... I'm curious why Saballero is not making archers. It seems like that would be a great way to do damage. Meanwhile, Garrus Toby Buffus, as far as I know, he has not... Yeah, he has not sprung his landing yet. So right now the initiative is all on Saballero. Saballero has no clue about this. Trash units are here. Is Saballero still making trash units? No, he is not. There are some spearmen working on this house. They're going to try to get... They'll be able to get it in a few seconds, I think. And Garrus Toby Buffus investing all this wood to wall this off because he can't wall to the edge of the island. So Saballero must be... I don't know where his resources are going then. I think he's kind of saving up, trying to get up to the Castle Age. That could be a mistake, though. You know, it just might not be practical to go to the Castle Age at this juncture. You know, he should invest in killing his opponent. He does have a couple of villagers here. Looks like they want to go home. Although Saballero making it happen. He's making the click up to the Castle Age happen. And the question is the Castle Age going to get him anything? Is he going to get something out of that Castle Age advancement that will damage his opponent? But Garrus Toby Buffus is victorious because he shows up here on Saballero's woodline, and Saballero has no answer for it. Saballero, I think, frustrated by the last game, and this one. I think this is a little bit premature of a resignation. He was heavily on stone. I think he had a plan to build a castle once he hit Castle Age, but he just never scouted this. So he had no idea what Garrus Toby Buffus was doing until it was too late. And rather than fight it off, or maybe try to, I don't know, maybe try to buy the stone for a tower here, he just resigned. So GG, well played to both players. So we give the Garrus Toby Buffus the win there. They were actually rather quick games, but had things been slightly differently, the games could have gone on a lot longer. Our next set, we're going to be looking at... One sec, guys. Ah, yes. Ola Dushek versus DJ Sapsan. Here we go. So we're going to pause it, and I'll show you the player. These will not be short games. Knowing DJ Sapsan, he loves to fight to the death. He fights very hard. So we're loading in. One sec, guys. Let's go and take a look at our player statistics. Okay. 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 So We will not fill that in. And we will identify Oladushek, DJ Sapson. So we're talking about 1900 versus 1700. So Oladushek definitely has an advantage here. But that does not mean that DJ Sapson cannot pull off an upset. So I just want you guys to know that Oladushek does have an ELO advantage, but DJ Sapson could still make something happen here. All right. So first map is Krzywigado. That's because Krzywigado is the map of the week, or the map of the round, I should say. Same round as before. Players start approximately across from each other again. Oladushek is playing as the blue Cumans, and DJ Sapson is playing as the yellow Lithuanians. So, Lithuanians popular tonight. It's the second time that we've seen them. Let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages here. You know, I don't think we see Cumans and you think, oh, 2 town centers in the feudal age, love those guys. But something tells me that that's not how Oladushek is going to play this. Oladushek, for those of you guys who don't know him, he's from Belarus. I think DJ Sapson is from Ukraine. Or at least that's what his profile says. Oladushek loves to play aggressively. He loves action. He loves maps that allow him to kill an opponent quickly. Sooner the better, I think. And DJ Sapson, it's a little bit harder to figure out, for me, what his playstyle is. I think it might be a little bit more defensive and reactive. But then again, I might just be thinking of the games that he played against Oladushek in the previous sprint. These guys have played in this season of Alchemy League before. So they are familiar opponents to each other. The way that it works is each person gets 4 matches and per sprint. And so the second sprint, their ELOs have not changed enough for them to be matched against completely different people. So Sapson finds himself against Oladushek again. Now, in theory, if we had twice the players for Alchemy League, we actually could match to the nearest 8 people. And then you would get a different player every single week, which would be kind of cool. Sapson needs to be careful that that deer doesn't run home. So Sapson's done the whole delete the wall segment thing. Is Oladushek going to use... Oh no, Oladushek is using the sheep. It's just a matter of preference. How much trust you have for your opponent's scout to be well behaved. But the annoying part is that that deer just gets stuck up against the wall. And he doesn't want to go anywhere. So, let's see. Shall I make predictions? I think that Oladushek... Oh boy. Oh no. Oh boy, Oladushek is already on stone, you guys. That is not good for DJ Sapson at all. Oladushek loves messing with his opponents. He has already gone over to stone, you guys. This is going to be a quick game. One way or another, Oladushek is either going to win or lose this game in the next 5 to 10 minutes. It'll probably be a lightning tower rush with Cuman Rams and perhaps Man-at-Arms. That's my prediction now. I was thinking he was going to do something with the Rams. I was not expecting towers, but it makes sense. So yeah, we'll see here. I'm staying tuned. Oladushek is going to need to click up pretty soon. He's finishing up Loom now, and then I think he'll do the forced drop off of food to enable him to click up, and there it is. So he's going up at 20 pop. He's probably not going to use the Cuman Town Center bonus because he's on stone, and he's got enough stone to build the town center that he needs. So we will probably see Oladushek at any moment Here he comes. He's coming to look for his opponent. We're probably going to see Oladushek. Yeah, he's going to go this way. It's so funny. He has no idea what's over here, and he's like, well, I know he's over there somewhere. Let's send the villagers. So he's sending 4 villagers. His scout has found DJ Sapson. Like, every single time. DJ Sapson, he just wants to have a normal game. And Oladushek is always coming over to mess with him. So DJ Sapson sees Oladushek's scout floating around his walls and is like, oh, I don't feel good about this. So he smartly sends a villager to come and seal that off. I was thinking we might get a unique opportunity to see Oladushek just walk right in here and build a tower, but Sapson is going to block this off so that he can't. Are we going to get a scout fight? Sapson, oh, they both hit at the same time. Who dies first? Holy, Oladushek manages to win that scout fight somehow. I do not know how that happened, and that's actually huge. Because that means that Oladushek can build a sneaky tower. Whereas if he had lost the scout fight, then Sapson would have seen that tower coming. I mean, Sapson's going to know, because it's Oladushek, that something is coming anyway. So Oladushek will probably come and build a tower like 2 tiles away from here or something. He just needs to build it far enough away to where these gates can't scout it. Yeah, so you can see here's the vision of the gates. And you can see Oladushek is trying to sneak around. He wants to deny resources. Alright, he's going to build it here. He's just going to build a house first. Okay. And he's going to build the tower there so that Sapson can't come and charge it down. So the point of this tower is to deny this stone. Sapson is doing a fast castle style build. He is on his way up to the feudal age now. He is taking stone, he is taking gold. I think Sapson wants to get castle age and build a defensive castle. That would be my guess. Now that I'm better able to make predictions, because capture age seems to be working better for whatever reason. So these villagers are shanking the wall, and the tower is here to help them get in. I actually think that that tower is not good enough. I think that Sapson can just wall behind it. Sapson does not quite have the food to click up to the next stage. Oladushek is going to destroy the wall segment, but he's going to need to build another tower in order to be able to get in. He can't get in. So he's going to... I guess he's attacking the house now. The house has very little armor. It's actually got negative armor. So the house is going down faster than anybody would have thought. The villagers do 3 damage per hit, and the house takes 5 because it has -2 melee armor. So Oladushek has to resort to building another tower, which he didn't really want to do. If this tower had been but a single tile closer, there's a good chance that he wouldn't have to do that. Now Sapson is feudal age, and he's going to build this market. And he's also going to build some palisade walls to keep Oladushek out. He nearly has the resources to click up to castle age, and he resumes construction of this market. He's going to build this blacksmith as well. He just needs to get this market up. Oladushek finishing the tower. And Sapson going to continue to wall and delay. Sapson only with 3 on food. Oladushek with 35 villagers. He has built the second town center. So Oladushek may be fooling us a little bit, doing a pseudo tower rush. He doesn't even have 4 villagers on stone. That's how undedicated this tower rush is. So Oladushek is actually ahead in villagers. He is not doing all-in aggression. He's just pretending to. So he fooled me, and I'm omnipotent. I can see the whole map, and Oladushek still fooled me. I guess he wouldn't have fooled me if I had looked over here and seen that he just had two town centers. So this is Oladushek being tricky about his aggression. So Sapson is on his way up to the castle age, and he's probably wringing his hands, thinking, "I'm going to make knights, and I'm just gonna swamp Oladushek's attack." But Oladushek is probably just going to wall the knights out at this point. Although Oladushek does need to be careful, because if Sapson monk rushes him, that could be a lot more dangerous. Tower goes up, it starts firing arrows into this other tower here. But because DJ Sapson has 5 villagers instead of 4, he will overpower Oladushek's tower. so Sapsan gonna build a castle. He's getting pretty close to having the stone. He'll probably build that castle right here or something, just to kill all of the towers. Oladushik being annoying and ungarrisoning the villager and repairing to buy his tower a little bit more time. And then everybody takes turns. Okay, it's his turn to garrison in. Now somebody that's not hurt will ungarrison and repair a little bit more, because that's how these guys play. So Sapsan hitting Castle Age. We can see the army of villagers walking forward. They're going to place the castle foundation probably right here. He might even delete the house to do it. No, he's going to delete the wall segment. And he's just going to build this castle right here. That works too. Oladushek says, well, I can't do this, so he abandons it. He's going to head back here. He's building a barracks. So this barracks is a response to Sapsan being Castle Age, because Oladushek thinks that there's going to be knights. But Sapsan has not even built a barracks. So maybe Oladushek actually just thinks that there's going to be Lytus instead. And that's why he's building this barracks. And he's got his scout here to keep an eye on things. Oladushek may garrison this scout inside of the town center. Sorry, inside of the watchtower. He will also start thinking about Castle Age himself. Let's see. He's getting wheelbarrow, and he's still making villagers. He's making them from this town center. So I think he's going to idle now until he can click up. He is ahead in villagers. It's 51 to 33. Oladushek sending his lads home. But this useless scout has been killed right here. And now Sapsan is coming across the map with the first of his Lytus. Sapsan adding another town center. He wants to catch up in villager count. Oladushek with the resources to click up. He does so now. He's built a stable and a market for his buildings. This Lytus is galloping in. He's closing the gap to that villager. Is this Lytus going to catch that villager to make it in? Nope. He manages to make it to safety, and now the villager is going to build a house. So, ironically, actually, the negative armor of houses, it hurts the Lytus, because the Lytus ignore that armor. So, it's kind of funny. It's one of the rare units that's harmed by negative armor. They ignore armor when they attack. So I guess Sapsan is just going to do a loop around, get a better updated view of Oladushek's town. And Oladushek headed to Castle Age. Maybe he'll make camels. I'm not really sure. What's this? Oladushek managed to hide a villager somehow. I don't really get that, but I think this villager will have some misfortune here when this Lytus finds him. Oladushek realizing that Sapsan is attacking his outpost and quick walls the villager in. Sapsan wants that villager, but he can't get him. Oladushek building a house instead. House is a better defense. Sapsan will probably send more Lytus this way. He's at least making another one. Looks like we got ourselves a mounted units fight, but this isn't going to go well for the scout. Oladushek will have to repair this palisade wall. Maybe he won't. Sapsan is catching up in villagers. However, Oladushek is making a castle. So, what is Oladushek's long-term army composition plan? I'm not really sure. Maybe he's going to go Kipchaks, and that's why he's making a castle. Or maybe he wants a unique technology from the castle to allow him to make step lancers with lightning speed. Oladushek quick walling this in here so that Sapsan cannot disrupt his castle production. Sapsan adding another town center, a fourth town center. Crazy. Did I say that I like Sapson's civilization better long term? I think this map blends itself pretty well to slow siege monk pushes. I don't really think that mobility is as important on this map in the late game. But Oladushik's scout picking off Sapson's monk, so Sapson pulling his monk back, try to avoid that scout, while he sends this Lytus out to the last location that scout was headed. He might actually just be able to see the scout, given that the monk's line of sight is quite large. He's also decided that he's going to start attacking this barracks here. Why just leave that up, right? Now, this monk walking past these buildings is a mistake. Oladushik is going to see that, and he's going to know that Sapson sent a monk this way. Now, Sapson knows that Oladushik probably saw that, so he's coming here. Oh, no. Somehow Oladushik knew about this monk. I'm not really sure what happened there. But Sapson trying to get that relic closer to his base. Wow, he gets the conversion. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So this is a scout for Sapson. And Oladushik is making Kipchaks, and it looks like he's interested in securing at least this relic. There is another relic over here. I don't know if Oladushik knows about it. Let's see. Yeah, so Oladushik... No, Sapson knows about that relic. But does Oladushik know about the relic? Sapson seems to want to get all the relics. Yes, Oladushik knows about that as well. Oladushik's pretty much explored the entirety of the map. Everything that you can explore, he has explored. Sapson knocking at the door here, trying to get in. Oladushik's going to wall this off. So Sapson will be a little bit disappointed when he breaks this open, but it will be an opportunity to do some free damage to this stable. Meanwhile, Oladushik coming in for a Kipchak raid, but Sapson smartly builds a tower here to prevent Oladushik from doing too much damage. Oladushik could break through this gate. Kipchaks will be pretty adept at tearing that gate down, but then there's the town center and this tower in the way, actually. So he is kind of buttoned up on this flank here between the towers, the town centers, and the castle. Sapson is also destroying Oladushik's blacksmith, so that'll be pretty annoying. Oladushik will have to rebuild it. It's destroying this building. Let's take a look at the villager count here. Oladushik is only slightly ahead, DJ Sapson. He's got 2 town centers and Sapson has 4. But Oladushik has even less military as well, but Oladushik has a dream. Oh, okay, I see what it is. Oladushik is on his way up to the Imperial Age. So Oladushik will be Imperial Age in about 40 seconds, and that is a disaster for Sapson. Because Sapson is nowhere near the Imperial Age, and Oladushik is building a castle right here. So it means Oladushik will hit Imperial Age, he'll build this castle, he'll make trebuchets, and he'll start flattening Sapson's town. Meanwhile, Sapson is getting hill forts, which give his town centers added range and attack, I believe. So here's Oladushik. I don't know where all of Sapson's military is. Yeah, here comes Sapson. He's going to react to it. We'll probably see him dive some trebuchets before the game is over. And the Kipchaks are just here to kind of like kite and pick on these Lytus. They're very fragile, so he has to be careful not to get hit too hard with them. Alright, he pulls back. And he's just going to wait for this castle to go up and to make trebuchets. Yeah, so trebuchet under construction. And he's probably, presumably, making more Kipchaks from this castle as soon as conscription is finished. Oladushik fanning out here. I think he's going to look for those booming villagers that are unprotected. Oladushik loves to attack from different directions. And he really likes to confuse and annoy his opponents and harass them in that way. So Sapson's got a big army here, and he's waiting for Oladushik. And Sapson's army is better than Oladushik's army. These are Lytus. They may not have the same pierce armor as paladins, but they're still knight-type units. And he's got more of them than Oladushik has Kipchaks. But he can't really do much with them. He's going to send him out here to deal with this, and Oladushik's got this army here, and Oladushik's probably just going to run away. Let's see. Maybe Sapson will get the surround. Okay, he does manage to do some decent damage. Kills 3 Kipchaks and loses 1. Only 1 life here, so he drives that away. But now he's got to work on keeping this castle up. Sapson is on his way up to Imperial Age. He's got about a minute to go, though. And Oladushek running in with the Kipchaks here. He's going to camp in the minimum range of the castle. It's risky, because if Sapson gets the surround on those Kipchaks, then he can kill a lot of them. But Sapson has to eject his villagers. He has to keep this castle up. This castle is very important to his livelihood. That castle gone, Oladushek can come back here and do all kinds of damage. And the castle does go down. And Sapson does not have another castle, which is pretty unfortunate, actually. He is not able to make Kipchaks. However, he is getting some conversions in. So he can't make his own unique unit, but he can at least take Oladushek's unique unit. Looks like we have a big fight here. Some camels against some Lightus. And I don't think he really wants to fight that. There's not much point in fighting it. Although it looks like Sapson did manage to snipe some trebuchets, which I think was his goal. And he does clean that up. But Oladushek has the bigger military at this point. Oladushek is streaming his military over to this other side and just being a nuisance against Sapson. Let's take a look at the Eco KD, though. Oladushek has killed 4 and lost 6. So he actually hasn't done as much eco damage as I thought. If we look at the relic situation, Sapson with 3 and Oladushek with 2. So the relics are actually relatively even, as evenly as you can with 5. Hey, DJ Sapson is actually here. He could probably talk more about his motivations. So Oladushek launching an attack from the opposite side. What I'm wondering is, would it really have killed DJ Sapson to just build a stone wall across this? I think at this point it's worth it, right? Because you've got all these units here being annoying. And Oladushek is deciding he wants to build another castle here, and he really wants to push in, and he wants to mess with DJ Sapson from this side. What's DJ Sapson's strategy? Well, he's getting light cavalry, and he's getting sir. So I'm not exactly sure what this is. The stream was stuck for a little bit. I'm having stream issues tonight for some reason. I don't really know. So it's... I don't know what's going on. If it does this again, I'll have to re-examine it. But yeah, the stream quality has been below average tonight, unfortunately. So Oladushek is going to come back here, and he's just going to wait with those units until DJ Sapson comes back to his minding his own business, and then he'll come back and attack again. You think my computer is overloaded? I think my computer is overloaded too. I don't even know what it is, because I literally just restarted it. I think it's just more and more greedy updates. I think I've been considering heavily getting into Linux, but I've heard that Capture Page does not work on Linux, unfortunately. But I think Linux could more could manage the resources of my aging PC better than anything else. Or I could just get a new PC, which is something that I've seriously considered as well. Look at Oladushek. He's building a great wall here. Look at all these houses. For some reason, he really does not want Sapson escaping this way. And he's got 2 castles. Sapson investing in the trash units. Lithuanian trash units are just a little bit faster. And Sapson also wants to colonize this area and expand out this way. It's 109 villagers to 106, which is kind of unheard of for Oladushek. It is very much not like Oladushek to boom up to 100 villagers, but he's done it this time. Maybe he did it because he wanted to trick Sapson and thought that Sapson wouldn't know how to deal with a boom to Oladushek. Sapson would be expecting Oladushek to go all in, but Oladushek really didn't go all in. He just built a minor tower rush. Sapson investing in pikemen, and he's getting squires too, and he's getting some of these attack upgrades. So he wants an answer to cavalry. He thinks that Oladushek is going to make cavalry. It's a good prediction because we see steppe lancers in production. So maybe Sapson saw something that tipped him off to that. Or maybe he just knows Oladushek very well. Or maybe a little bit of both. Alright, Sapson having to send some Lytus in here to deal with this. He's built a new castle, or he is building a new castle, so these are old Lytus. These are Lytus that he saved for a special occasion, like a fine wine. So Oladushek really hasn't done much to harass this side recently, although he is building some stables. So I think Oladushek is planning on launching another attack over here, but not quite yet. It's not ready. So Sapson, where is the siege? That's what I want to know. Where is all of Sapson's siege? Maybe he wants to go cannons. Oladushek with 10 garrisoned elite Kipchaks. And he's got a trebuchet working on a house here. So Oladushek wants to destroy this house, and then he wants to come in here with a bunch of Kipchaks and be a pain. Sapson has apparently also powered this and forced Oladushek off of this wood line. It could actually work out really well for Sapson to break through here. That would be pretty destructive to Oladushek. Yeah, so Sapson building the stone walls now. He does not want Oladushek coming in here and messing with this. Sapson also getting tower shields to improve the pierce armor of his, I believe, his skirmishers. It could be his pikemen. Tower shields is in. Sapson wants to get Halb. He's going to need Halb. I mean, he doesn't have to have him, but it would be beneficial for him to have Halberd. Capture Age doesn't work, but DE and OBS are working perfectly fine. To be clear, I'm still running a Microsoft operating system. I am considering switching over. And from what I have heard, you can get DE and OBS to work perfectly fine on a Linux operating system. But getting Capture Age to work is another matter. Maybe I should just do the whole drive cleanup thing. Just defragment my drive. So we got a lot of elite step lancers here. This is not good for DJ Sapson. He needs to somehow stall and delay this fight by 30 seconds so that he can have Halberdier working in here. And he should have, really he should have siege weapons. This is just so many Kipchaks. This number of Kipchaks here just overruns Halbs. And now that the Halb upgrade is in, DJ Sapson has no Halbs. I guess he's got a couple. You know, when he did manage to keep the most of his skirmishers alive, there are more step lancers coming in though. Pushing DJ Sapson back. Step lancers taking a very good fight against the skirmishers. I think DJ Sapson is in big trouble. Oladushek is also coming in on this side. The better army comp, I think, from Oladushek is winning it here. Sapson's army doesn't really cost gold. He's just making trash units. You never really want to be in that position where you're just making trash units, because you will get overpowered by a gold plus trash unit army composition. Castle goes down. Sapson losing villagers. Oladushek's got a raid here. Yeah, this raid is very unfortunate for Sapson. His help's going to be in so many places to keep his villagers protected. And right now they're going into the Kipchak meat grinder. Oladushek knows exactly what army he needs to make to deal with Sapson's army. You sent me lower settings in a DM? I can try that. let me... okay, so Oladushek is victorious. DJ Sapson calls the GG. So the first game we give to Oladushek. With a solid Cumin performance. Oladushek tricking us and doing kind of a fake tower. I mean, he still did a real tower rush, but he didn't invest into it as much as we thought he would. He instead boomed up a lot. And he had a more effective army composition. Alright, let me check the recommended settings for OBS here. Overloading is encoded, says it. Consider turning down your video settings or using faster encoding preset. I wonder if I can also adjust capture age settings. Graphics. It's pretty much already at the bottom. Maybe we can turn that to the bottom. There we go. Stream is 1 frame per minute. That sounds very small. One sec, guys. What I want to know is how DJ Sapson happens to have these OBS settings handy. Maybe he streams himself. Don't know. Alright, let me make some adjustment here. Alright, we'll try that. I tweak things in that general direction. So the next game is Nicaea. The next game is on the map Nicaea, I should say. Okay. So Oladushek is at 6 o'clock. He is playing as the Blue Dravidians. And DJ Sapson is at noon, and he is playing as the Yellow Sicilians. So Nicaea is sort of my version of Northern Isles, but it's Greek style, and it's got, instead of like having a neutral island in the middle, it's got neutral islands coming off of the side for the players. And I think these neutral islands are actually a little bit special because you can't really surround them with ships anymore. Or not in this case anyway. You could theoretically maybe come up here and have a peaceful life on this island. At least in part. I thought about doing a little bit more work to Nicaea and having more like sea cliffs going on. But it's very hard to program that kind of thing. But it potentially could happen in the future. I don't know. I have to think about it. So you start with a transport ship. You start with a scout. The traditional Greek scout. He looks like he has a lot of attack, but not really. His attack rate is halved from traditional scouts. So his damage output is only slightly larger. But he's got 1/3 the hit points. And Oladushek has decided that now is a great time to push in a goose. So that's what he's doing. He's also heavily on wood here. So Dravidians, we talked about them in a previous matchup. Dravidians have good eco bonuses and water bonuses as the game progresses. But Sicilians, actually, I don't really think they have much of an eco bonus that comes into play here. Maybe their farms having additional food could be an advantage if Sapson is taken off of fish. But I'm not really sure. I don't think Sapson picked the Sicilians for their transport ship tankiness. I mean, maybe he did. Although, I think that these transport ships are actually special. Maybe not. Let's take a look here. 100 HP for that transport ship. 100 HP. So is Sapson's transport ship? It just has a ton of vision. Okay. So it is actually the traditional transport ship. And I'm very interested in this. Sapson coming out here with a villager. And I wonder what... It's better, 1 frame per second. He's coming out here with a villager, and what's the plan? I'll have to look into that a little bit later. He's gonna build a dock. Sapson's gonna sneakily fish over here on this side of the map. And he's gonna hope that Oladushek doesn't find it. And I think that this could be pretty smart. Now, Sapson needs to still build a dock on his home island, but it needs to be the dock for Oladushek to find. Because if Oladushek goes and looks for a dock around Sapson's island and then doesn't see one, then he'll know that Sapson is trying to be tricky. And then he'll go and look for the dock somewhere else. So let's see what Oladushek's explorational knowledge is. He has explored mostly around Sapson's base. Now, Oladushek loves to build a dock, and you can see that he's moving out here. He loves to build that dock on a neutral island right next to his opponent's island, so that he can pull his weakened fire ships back and then repair them from the convenience of his own island. And his opponent can't get to it. But in this case, Oladushek is just headed around with his scout, and he's looking for Sapson's dock. And he doesn't find it yet. Now, he may be thinking, oh, you know, that dock is... He just built the dock since I explored over here, so he's doing another pass around. But Sapson has not built a dock. Not on his home island. Sapson built his dock over here, and he's got 2 fishing ships taking the fish. I'm tempted to just give up Capture Age entirely, actually, honestly. I don't really like it very much anyway. People say that it's a fantastic analytical tool for Age of Empires, and I get it. But I don't know if it's just... I just don't know if it's worth it for me. I think Microsoft really needs to directly integrate better casting tools into their game. But they're content to just let Capture Age fix it for them, you know, to do that for them. So Oladushek, he's come around, he's picked up another villager, and he's going around for another pass. I don't know, maybe Oladushek doesn't get suspicious at all. Maybe he just assumes, oh, you know, my opponent is just a fool. My opponent's just not going to make a dock, so I'm going to make a dock on my opponent's island instead. Since my opponent won't dock this island, I'll dock it myself. Maybe it really is that simple. Alright, scout fight here. And Oladushik somehow mysteriously winning the scout fight again. DJ Sapson sends this villager over here to just shank that scout and just finish the job. But Oladushik is going to get away. He gets away with it once again. Poor Sapson. Now, Sapson is no slouch about this island, though. Sapson is building an outpost. And with this outpost, he plans to keep an eye on whether or not Oladushik lands him and builds archery ranges or something. Because we have seen that. Landings are very popular on this map. Meanwhile, Sapson is still fish booming over here. Actually, he's got 5 fishing ships and he's not making any more for now. And he's going to be up to the feudal age pretty soon. And I think that he will build Market Blacksmith and try to go Fast Castle. I could be wrong, though, because he's got nothing on gold. So he's building a barracks and he's building a donjon. So Sapson does not want this gold to get towered. Oladushik has sent some more villagers over. And Oladushik is also looking... He's coming around with a fire ship. And I think that he wants to destroy Sapson's fishing economy. He's going to find this fire galley instead. So Sapson just has to be smart and not lead the fire galley to his fish that are over here. So Sapson has built a donjon here, but this donjon is not going to prevent Oladushik from towering his gold, which is pretty brutal. But there should be another gold on this island for Sapson to take. If there isn't, then he would have been cheated by the map. Oh, wow, it's right here. This tower denies both of Sapson's gold. Yeah, okay, alright. I'm caught up now. So Sapson absolutely cannot let this tower go up. This tower would be a total disaster. The tower will go up, but it will also go down pretty quickly because Sapson has military in this location. He's got lots of villagers. So this tower is totally unacceptable. He cannot let that tower happen. And Oladushik's villagers are being scattered here. He's got a transport ship. He's going to take one away, maybe. Alright, he's going to pick this lady up and take her away. And he had another villager over here, but I'm not sure what happened to it. It could have gotten killed. No, maybe not. Maybe they were just the two. Anyway, 2 villagers are fleeing back to Oladushik's island. Oladushik, he still has not found Sapson's fish. So Sapson has all these fishing ships over here. 5 fishing ships, I believe. Somewhere on this screen there are 5 fishing ships. Okay, yeah, they're over here. And then Sapson... Did Sapson build another dock? I don't think Sapson has shown Oladushik... Yeah, actually, I think this is a mistake. Because this... Maybe not, because this fire ship tells Oladushik that Sapson has built a dock, right? Oladushik could understand the transport ship, but to see a fire ship like this says, I have a dock somewhere. Oladushik on his way up to the castle age. Sapson has not clicked up yet. I guess maybe Oladushik could believe that Sapson had since built a dock back here. But if Oladushik does another pass around this island and still does not find the dock and sees this fire ship attacking his fish, then he's going to definitely know that something is not right. Hey, Cookie Pirate, welcome. I'm having OBS issues tonight. OBS and Capture Age just not playing nice on my PC. So, could just be a bad night, or it could be a night where I need to adjust my settings. So fire galley coming around. There is no reason for Sapson to fight this. He should just try to kill as many fishing ships as he can, because Oladushik doesn't know where his fish is. So why would he need to keep his military alive to defend it? Just throw your military away and kill Oladushik's fishing ships. Both players are tied at 40 villagers, but Oladushik has reached the castle age first. So he is going to get a little bit ahead. I think Oladushik has been making fishing ships from more than just one dock. Whereas Sapson just has the one dock. One dock with the fishing ships that Oladushek doesn't know about. Oladushek getting all of the upgrades. He's getting the stone mining upgrade. He's getting the war galley upgrade. He's getting wheelbarrow, and he's getting bow saw. So Oladushek probably planning for a castle would be my guess. But beyond that, I'm not really sure what that castle means. If it's a castle drop, or if it's some kind of defensive castle. Oladushek sending the fire ships. Okay, he is populating this transport ship. And he's sending some villagers. But really, only 2 villagers? Okay, no, here's some more. So he's sending at least 4 villagers. The garrison capacity is only 5. Okay, he ejects the scout. He wants to send 5 villagers to drop the castle. I'm wondering if he's going to drop it right here on this stone. That would be pretty brutal. Sapson has more stone over here. But it would still be very, very disruptive to Sapson for Oladushek to drop a castle here. Let's see where Oladushek goes. He's going to come over here. Oh no. Sapson, no. The castle drop is literally going to happen right here. And it's going to deny Sapson's town center, isn't it? That's so annoying. Sapson needs to, like, build a donjon here immediately. He actually... No, he doesn't have the stone. Yeah, he sees it. Now what? Donjon time. He sends the villagers to fight it. He knows that Oladushek cannot wall to the edge of the map, so actually it makes sense to send some villagers to fight it. Oh my goodness, the castle drop from hell. Is Oladushek going to get this castle up? Probably, because they always go up. Just a little bit faster of a reaction time, too, and it could have been a different story. This castle is a huge pain. Oladushek will lose some villagers for it, though. So Sapson's town center here is now pretty much useless. He has to build a siege workshop, and he's got to make siege, and he's got to fight that off. Now, I believe that this donjon is within minimum range of the castle, so I'm not really sure why Oladushek is attacking the town center first. Okay, I think he's attacking the donjon. No, he's attacking the donjon with petards. Oh my goodness. Alright, so some sergeants are working on the castle, and Oladushek does not have an answer for that now. I'm not sure what his unique unit is. Actually, that was pretty unlucky that Oladushek's petard did not attack the donjon. And then Sapson making a ram as well. Oh! Oh, oh, oh! Sapson has a donjon rush on Oladushek's island. Oh no, Oladushek. This is very disruptive. I don't know how many villagers he'll kill. Oladushek opting for the monk defense here. But this is still a good counterattack. And it gets Oladushek off balance. This is adorable. Oladushek and DJ Sapson are sharing the fish here. Oladushek does not seem to have noticed that DJ Sapson is actually fishing. I don't think Oladushek has killed a single fishing ships of DJ Sapson's. But DJ Sapson cannot allow this. He needs to relocate these fish somewhere else. Maybe build another dock down here and take all of this fish. But he's too distracted. Big fight just happened here. It looks like some of Sapson's villagers went down trying to attack this castle. All of Oladushek's navy attacked it. The ram is still battering away at this castle. And where are those sergeants going? I'm not really sure. They should be defending the ram from these whip boys. These Urumi swordsmen, whatever they are. But Sapson may be running out of a little bit of steam here. It seems like he should be able to mass enough rams and sergeants to deal with this. Oh, pay attention. Pay attention, Sapson. This whip guy is killing you from behind. Oladushek building another dock on Sapsan's island. It's his favorite place to build them. Sapsan is having some luck over here. They both have 8 eco kills. Sapsan has sent his fishing ships down to fish here, but without the ability, I guess he could build a transport ship and transport the villager down here and build another dock. That would make his fishing trip a little bit more profitable. And only now is Oladushek discovering... Wait. Actually, that is a fire ship. But having said that, Oladushek should see this house here. And then at that point, he'll know that there's been a villager over here and that Sapsan is likely fishing over here. But this sneak dock worked out really well for Sapsan. This castle drop did not. This castle drop was kind of a disaster. The whip boys, though. I don't even know how to deal with the whipping boys. What do? I guess maybe you could build a monastery back here and make monks and convert the whipping boys. But the range of the castle is 10 now, so it outranges the monks. So the monks, in order to get close enough, would have to be in range of the castle in order to convert the whipping boys. So Sapsan with 57 villagers to Oladushek's 64. But Oladushek has just killed a ton of villagers. And they weren't even the fishing ships either. So Oladushek is pulling ahead of Sapsan because he's getting lots of villager kills with these Irumi swordsmen. Sapsan manages to have converted a couple, it seems, and he's got some scorpions. And Sapsan is also dropping this castle here. And because he's Sicilians, he can just basically build a castle wherever he wants, even like in the middle of an enemy army, because Sicilians just have a stupid bonus like that. But in this case, it works out well for Sapsan because he needs that bonus. Oladushek has been hurting him and wants to continue hurting him. So the castle is up. Well, we see Sapsan make petards to try to destroy, or maybe he actually, no. What he needs to do is he needs to make rams now. Now that this castle is here protecting his rams, he could make rams and eventually take this castle down. So in that sense, he should have built the castle a long time ago instead of making the rams first or screwing around with other things. So I'm sure he'll probably start building rams pretty soon from this siege workshop. Oladushek has got some monks on this transport ship. Where's he going? Sapsan with 2 relics. He's got the donjon here, actually. I would love to see Sapsan build like another donjon over here. With a few, maybe a few surgeons protecting it. Looks like he did force Oladushek to respond. I doubt that Sapsan would have built this donjon here if the castle were here first, so I'm assuming that this castle is a reaction. But donjon here would be pretty annoying for Oladushek to have to deal with. Oladushek is just now getting around to clearing out this fish. Sapsan has raked in thousands of food probably from this secret dock. Oladushek going up to the Imperial Age. He wants to put a stop to it. He kind of has to go up to the Imperial Age to fight off this castle, but his own castle will be probably destroyed before he gets Imp. Sapsan's castle, though, is, I guess, does not target the whipping boys. It's just targeting Oladushek's castle. And actually, Oladushek does not have any archers. Sorry, not archers. Villagers to repair his castle. So those Irumi swordsmen go down pretty fast, but they killed the ram, which was their job. And so now Sapsan is going to send these surgeons to help try to finish this castle off. Here comes another ram. And so this castle will go down, but it has done a ton of damage with its raid. 32 of Sapsan's villagers have been killed, and 19 of Oladushek's villagers have been killed. Each player from various and respective raids done on the other player's island. I have 47, he has 43. The eco counts all eco units, including fishing ships. Ah, okay. Well, I don't think you have any fishing ships anymore, Sapsan. I think Oladushek finally got them after all this time. He's like, oh, you have that there. I'm going to go destroy that. Alright, Sapson fighting off this landing, finally. It's perfect timing for him because Oladushek has just reached the Imperial Age. And Oladushek wants to build this castle now to get Sapson off of his island. Sapson is taking Oladushek's, looks like stone, I think. Which is, no, it's his gold. Well, that's annoying. Yeah, I don't blame Oladushek for wanting to get Sapson off of that. Sapson could just build a mining camp here, though, and I think be fine for a little while. Because Oladushek is going into fire ships. So, what does Sapson do now? He sees Oladushek has made his way up to the Imperial Age. So Sapson is throwing down a bunch of farms. The Sicilian farm quantity bonus will assure him a lot of food from all of these farms. So he will not have to rely on fishing at all. And it looks like he's building these donjons all along his coastline because he does not want Oladushek landing him. And he's building extra town centers. This looks like a First Crusade type strategy. So DJ Sapson is building these town centers here. He's got another transport ship here. And this is to load up even more surgeons. And he's getting First Crusade now. This is amazing. This has been such a great game so far. These guys are both like really going at each other. I love watching these guys go at each other, actually. Another town center for Sapson. And this trebuchet is probably not going to live for very long after First Crusade comes in. We'll see. But this is going to be like a potentially a game-changing number of surgeons here. He's getting the armor for them too, which helps. And then boom, all these surgeons come out. Did Oladushek research murder holes? I don't think so. But I bet he wishes that he did. Surgeons are going to go for the trebuchet first. And they should be able to flatten that pretty quickly. And now they're going to come in here and they're going to kill this castle. Oladushek does have a monk or two in the area. And he's made a couple of Irumi swordsmen. And then he's got this Thericidai. So Sapson should take this seriously. And Oladushek can just seem to crank out the Irumi swordsmen for whatever reason. Alright, he is getting back in the town centers. Town centers do destroy Irumi swordsmen pretty effectively. Something about Irumi swordsmen ignoring armor, though, which doesn't really make any sense at all. I mean, if you have a guy with a whip and he's hitting a guy with armor, he's probably not doing any damage. Maybe you guys understand the damage potential of whips better than I do. Maybe they're not exactly whips either. Maybe they're some kind of, like, really flexible, thin sword. So Sapson has landed some rams here. And I think he wants to do a ram push on Oladushek's castle. Unfortunately for Sapson, Oladushek can just mass produce these whipping boys who are very effective against the rams for whatever reason. Let's take a look at Oladushek's island, actually. Where is Oladushek's gold? I think this is it right here. I don't think Oladushek has good gold. Actually, he's got something on gold somewhere. So, okay, so Oladushek has figured out that he can relocate to these other islands and take gold, which is actually a big deal, and it's part of the reason why these islands exist, is so that if your gold is being threatened on your own island, you can potentially relocate to another island to take resources. So DJ Sapson, his town center is under attack from the trebuchet, so he's sending his surgeons over, and they are going to break down this trebuchet. He's also advancing to the Imperial Age. He's probably going to use, yeah, he's using his hometown center to do it. He's got a sprawling farm economy. And where is all of DJ Sapson's gold mining occurring? I don't see it. I don't know if DJ Sapson is going to relocate over here and take this gold. I think he should. He's got a transport ship, or he actually, yeah, he's got a transport ship still. And he has ambitious young villagers that want to get over there, but this fast fire ship just powers through that transport ship, which is very unfortunate for Sapson. So I guess he's got to go light cavalry for now. Oh no, there's cannon galleons from Oladushek. Well, shoot, that's not good at all. Sapson's base is likely to get flattened pretty soon. But he does have monks here. And he wants to try to get some conversions on these cannon galleons, but there are other ships that are going to come crush these monks. They don't even have sanctity for 50% more health. Sapson hits Imperial Age. I don't think Sicilians get block printing, but if they do, now is the time for it. Oladushik is getting elite Urumi swordsman, and DJ Sapson is getting the armor upgrade on his cavalry. He's making scouts, he's getting bloodlines. He's trying to sneak conscription in from this castle before the cannonballs blast it to smithereens. And he's repairing. Is he going to get conscription? He's repairing this castle pretty heavily, and I think his villagers repair at twice the rate because of Sicilians. But if we watch... Oh, I can't tell. Yeah, I think he did get it, though. Because we just saw that castle go down. I would love to see Sapson build more town centers out here, though. You know, provides a safe place for him to take gold. Because his big problem is that he can't take gold right now. He's out of gold on his home island. He's mined it all. He's taking light cav to deal with the whipping boys. I don't know how good they'll be. Oladushik landing him with some whipping boys and some surgeons for whatever reason. I guess Oladushik converted some surgeons and he wants to use them in combat now. Kanigalian pummeling Sapson's town center. He's coming here to repair it desperately to keep it up. But I think it's only a matter of time before this navy overwhelms him. Town center goes down, and with that, Sapson's villagers have no safe place to be. He's going to retask them back here, but there's nothing protecting them from Oladushik's military. Sapson has made a transport ship to try to escape, but Oladushik sinks it. With that, I think Sapson will call it GG pretty soon. There it is, and Oladushik taking 2 games off of DJ Sapson. But we did mention that Oladushik has an elo advantage over Sapson. So it is understandable. I appreciate you guys joining me for the casts today. Age was not agreeable. I'm seriously considering just getting rid of it. But let me know if trade is important to you guys, or maybe I don't care. I'm not really sure. But Oladushik was pretty the choppiness of capturing. And the first 2 games, they were short. I think Saballero resigned a bit.